Severance, Season 2,
There was
Episode
this
6.
gray hall. But then
Oh, he's remembering.
everything was like so white.
Yeah, it's a lot of white hallways.
This didn't feel human. This felt like a nightmare. I mean, why
Yeah, you
is
get used
she
to it.
rattling off a bunch of facts?
That is a great
What are
question.
they doing to her?
Another great question.
She didn't even recognize me.
She's never met you.
The Gemma you know is still in there.
That's the hope, right? That's the hope for all of it. Irving also. Wow, this has got to be such a horrific shock, but also a relief, right? It's a lot to process.
Bargaining. You know what that is?
It's a stage of grief.
Think about all the things you do, all the ways you change to get that person back.
You try to make deals that you don't have the power to make.
It's dumb, but you do it anyway.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It is normal. And it makes a lot of sense. There's a good reason why. There are certain things you can discuss on an intellectual level. For example, free will, about whether or not the thing exists. But no matter how much you delve into it, how good your arguments are, but you only have to look at a glance to see that actually everyone on the deepest level believes in free will. It's a different category or domain of belief from the intellectual. It's like your lived belief. Another one maybe is morality, where there are arguments for there being actually no objective structure to goodness or badness, that it's sort of at the subjective whims of a person or a culture overall. And yet we all sort of act as though there is a baseline of goodness that is understandable, and we react to things we see in a generally understandable and predictable manner on net, sort of regardless of the individual or the culture. Another example maybe being faith. There's various ranges of religious belief, but sort of everyone kind of prays in dark moments. The way this relates to Mark is that one of those is it's just optimal for us to believe that we are kind of the locus of control over event. I think this is probably evolutionary and biological, where it's just been advantageous for us to kind of overemphasize our own role in things and see everything as a connection to us, even if that diverges from reality a little bit, because that creates the greatest chance we will be paying attention to our actions and actually navigating, which gives us arguably the best chance for survival. But of course, a lot of things are not in our control, and like the farther out you go outside of yourself, the more that's true. And calamities do happen, freak accidents happen, but sort of by definition, there's nothing actionable about that, and there's nothing actionable about events that have already occurred. But we only have one tool. We know this one tool, which is taking action. And so you just naturally start to try to make deals. Like, well, if I just did this, it's very hard to accept things that are out of our control. It may even be counter to our nature. And again, there's that split. So like we know this, but we also don't know it. It seems like it almost can't have a zero value. That's sort of the deepest level. And that's to say nothing of the guilt, the remorse, the pain of loss, all of which we're trying to apply really the one tool we have, the only tool we know, which is, what am I supposed to do about this? There's nothing stupid about it.
But for me, it might actually happen.
Yeah, I see what he's saying. It's weird. Yeah, you don't think you'd have the chance, right? You're just at the point of giving up, right? You're finally starting to accept it, and then bam, there's hope again, which is scary. It's the very thing you're trying to reject so that you can move on.
It was a sketch of a black hallway with a black elevator that only goes down.
How do you know it only goes down?
Let's see it.
Don't worry, he has it memorized.
Poster.
That's probably smart. Yeah, they'll pick it up.
Why didn't you just take it?
There's some snoopers in this office. Safer there. Take a look and leave it there.
Fuck you don't know everything. Then tell us.
It's okay.
We need to redevelop team unity. We need to reestablish team unity. That's not team unity. Where are you going? This is not... Oh, wait. What are you doing?
Okay.
He just left. Okay. Have a beer. I'm actually really impressed and sort of shocked that this is being introduced so early. I don't know the scope of the show they have planned, but it feels early. We're already doing unseverancing.
Okay.
And as we know from Petey, it's a totally safe and harmless procedure and nothing can possibly go wrong. This time it was safe. She said it was scientific. Imagine if it wasn't scientific, how dangerous that would be for Mark. Did you read the report about your negligence? Seems like the underling in the managerial role is always the spy.
How did it go?
Now Milchik is the one being spied on. I still have my job, so...
This will mean using your time well, focusing on your own duties.
Your own duties.
Eradicating from your essence childish folly.
What has she done? Is it about the instrument?
You may sit at your regular desk.
What, did she want his chair? Cold. You can just feel the office camaraderie. I'm glad she seems to have gotten something out of that meeting, because all I got was, wow, Milkchick doesn't really like me. But we'll see how he likes it when I take his job.
They're trying to intimidate us, divide us.
And also,
It's so that we won't work together because they know what will happen if we do. I'm gonna go get that map.
Ellie, we shared vessels.
Ew. Well, it's good that he's telling her, but that's not, that's a weird way to phrase that. Ooh, that's horrible from her perspective.
Like in a wellness session?
No, not...
Miss Casey, it was, at the retreat. It's in your tent.
That's a lot. I don't know. That's horrible. That's a crazy thing to take in.
I mean, obviously, I thought it was you.
It's very weird. It's a weird situation because, like, there's not many situations where, like, there's such a vast split between how much wrong there was there versus, like, how little wrong the person did. I'm trying to think of an equivalent in real life. It's tough. My gut instinct watching the scene is that this is maybe the most damning evidence as to why this split is wrong. This issue has been present in the show from the very beginning, but this is the first time I'm really considering its weight. You can't be, like, having people have sex with your body when you're not conscious.
I'd been having those feelings since, like, before the OTC. And so when she, I had no idea, okay?
That is not great that you didn't know. It's disheartening.
It's probably another tactic. Something to drive a wedge between us. Like,
Ellie,
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, I don't blame her for wanting to get out of this enclosed space right now.
I thought it was you.
But it wasn't me.
It's separate. It's a lot to process. Feel really bad for Helly. And to some degree, also Mark. I mean, he didn't knowingly do anything wrong. It starts with the little things, like your paperclip organization. Oh yeah, you got that review about the paperclip being backwards. Oh, maybe Miss Huang did it. Maybe she sabotaged his paperclipping. I was wrong for doubting Milkshak's paperclipping abilities. I bet he does a great paperclip. I now suspect sabotage. Someone's sabotaging my boy Milkshake. There's no way Milkshake misses a paperclip. Justice for Milkshake.
First date. Let me guess. Scuba.
Thai food.
First date? That's ambitious.
Though you did take scuba lessons last year.
Yeah? Which sea?
It was
Probably,
cool.
yeah. It's a training class.
It was a little expensive.
Oh.
We didn't really have the money because you're such a deadbeat.
We've had a lot of phases. Scuba
Relatable.
diving, woodworking.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a fun
really
one.
Diverse.
That's a positive way to put it.
Maybe I'm trying to find something I excel in.
Yeah, there's no numbers on the screen up there. To be honest, though, we've gotten some mixed messages about Dylan. Him sitting on the couch not helping with the cupcakes, that's not great for his marriage. It doesn't show a lot of ambitious spirit, but it's kind of separate from, like, his employability. There's domains of things. Like, people can be really great in one area and terrible in another. The actual work thing we've seen from Audi Dylan was the interview, which I think he made a pretty solid, creative, intelligent performance for a job he probably was qualified for if, the base skills we know transfer. And that was just discrimination. And he's out there interviewing, at least. Like, I'm not willing to write off Audi Dylan as a total employment deadbeat, though he's definitely not as ambitious as scuba diving on a first date, which will heretofore be my new first date idea. And if she doesn't have a scuba license, she's not the one. Next.
I sometimes wonder if you're just not happy.
Sure
Okay.
it's not that. Because, I mean,
There's something in there.
here, with you, I'm super happy.
Oh no, this is exactly what she wishes for, probably. You're everything I wish you were. The other you aren't.
I wish we could really be together. Like, all the time.
Imagine, like, imagine doing this to yourself. Oh man.
You and him are.
Imagine competing for a woman with yourself. Oh man, it's a gut punch. I would hate that. Or would I? I don't know. It's tough, man. It's hard to actually tap into the reality of these things emotionally.
Is it okay if we try the hug again? I kind of like the hugging.
A bit awkward, but I like, honestly, I don't know. I think Audi Dylan is kind of messing up a little bit by, like, condoning this. I don't know. I mean, it's for his job. He can't find work. And maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. What's the code of conduct for your wife seeing another version of you? This is sort of fruitless, but just trying to, like, wade through this. The first level would be very basic things that are actually not about the severance thing. So, like, trust, honesty, anything that reflects negatively on the character of your partner or the integrity of your relationship going forward in the future. That's an issue regardless of setting. So if she was hiding this from Audi Dylan, that in itself would be bad. Putting that aside and getting to the actual severance stuff. The only real positive I can see is if you just are, like, tired of your wife. Basically, if it's like a job and you're outsourcing the job of being a husband for your wife's emotional needs to your Audi self, much like they're outsourcing their time for work, that's the one positive. Then there's more room in the neutral territory where, like, you're very rational and it's like, well, it's me. There's the biological DNA level of the assessment where, like, it's still my DNA, it's still me. But, like, because that's never been a factor in our evolutionary history, I think the emotions wouldn't treat it that way. Speaking of, like, there being a split between the rational and the way we're actually wired to perceive things, I think it would instinctively be wired as an emotional threat. It's an other because it's something you're not seeing and not knowing and not participating in. But if you internalize it deeply enough where you really thought it was you and didn't think it was an other, then I think it could fall into the neutral territory with a lot lot of work. You know, actually what would be more realistic is people telling themselves it's a neutral or a good. Like, no, this is fine. I'm an adult. I would never be controlling. I would never put parameters on someone's life and experience. But then like secretly being deeply resentful and it's like eating at them day after day. And then, speaking of which, there is a vast chasm of negative for just, so many reasons. Even if it is you, if your wife is choosing another you over the you are, you're doing something wrong. And that's scary. And you might not want to think about what you're doing wrong. You don't want to have to like cut your kids cupcakes for the bake sale. That's annoying. You know, you want to get a job. You know, you need to get a job. You make efforts, but you don't really want to work. Like no one wants to work. You don't want to work at the door factory. You say you want a job, but like, again, different areas, different splits of belief. You want the results of having the door job. You don't want the door job. What you want to do is like chill and watch TV. This strikes me as being potential for a death spiral for Audi Dillon because not only is the situation already bad, which is why this is happening, he's tacitly agreeing to this situation and not really able to do anything about it or fix it, which makes him look even more pathetic and makes him more insecure, which will just exacerbate it. This is so young love too. This is so real since they're kids. In a certain sense, the innies. I remember how things were so much more potent when I was young, like middle school, high school. God, this is so dark. Once again, no one is working. Man, Cold Harbor really struggling right now. This is the second TV show that Adam Scott is in where he's not doing any work in an office. Wait, is Adam Scott in The Office? Am I just confusing it with Parks and Rec? Parks and Rec, they worked. They did work. Oh, he auditioned for The Office. He auditioned for Jim. This is a little bit Jim and Pam, but way darker. Oops, I slept with the wrong Pam. Oh, wow.
Oh, hey,
I'm just coming to see you. That's good.
You thought it was me,
100%.
which means you wanted to. With me.
Okay, I think I see where this is going.
What sucks is that she got to have that and I didn't.
Yeah, okay, that's a relief a bit that that's the reading.
That she controls me and this company and all of us. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I've come to that conclusion as well.
Hey, do you want me to, like, describe?
Be careful, Mark. Just don't talk. This is a situation not to talk.
I want my own.
Right. It's not like you guys are supervised anyway.
Would you like that?
I don't know. This situation makes it weird, though.
Yeah,
Okay, we're rolling with it.
but how?
Look, people have found ways in much harsher conditions than an unsupervised office where you frequently go to the bathroom together. This is not a great idea. I don't mean logistically. I don't care about the office crap. It's wrong in the same way. And I know we have no sympathy for Audi Helly, but I think just like this thing is wrong. This whole thing is wrong by the design of it. And then secondary to that, even if we, let's say, just take the argument that, okay, fine, we're accepting that when I have control of the body, it's my right to do whatever with it. Even though I don't believe that, just taking that as a premise, Helly is likely severely emotionally compromised right now. And even without the Severance stuff, not great to do that. What came to mind is just the thought that like maybe there's some part of this that isn't actual desire to be with Mark, though I think a lot of that is real, but like revenge or something like that, or like reclaiming something that feels like it was taken, but that's not the best reason to do something like this. Does Mark want to put himself in this situation again and be a participant in this whole thing? I mean, Mark, whatever, he's just like, yay. He's not going to think it through, but
Ta-da. A tent.
that is highly transparent, but I see the vibe you're going for. Sorry, but I saw those tents. They were comfy as hell, and this is not it. This looks cold and blue and not warm.
I'm nervous.
I am also nervous. I am uncomfortable. I remember back in season 1 I made a joke about how they're all virgins. That didn't last long. What is Alan the alien up to right now? What's Nolan doing in Invincible? Top 10 scenes you don't want to watch with your mother. I think this is my first time reacting to an explicit live-action sex scene, and I don't really know what to do. This is uncharted territory. It actually does kind of feel like those situations where you're just innocently watching a movie with your parents and then suddenly sex scene, but like with an audience. And there is a small but non-zero chance that my mom watches this because she occasionally just randomly decides to watch videos of mine out of context. Disturbing fact for anime fans, the first time I watched End of Evangelion, I watched it with my mother. Think about that for a second. If you know, you know. But we're all adults. Oh, thank God. Why was that scene 40 minutes long? Once again, no one is working. R.I.P. Cold Harbor and our quotas this quarter. Yeah, he's making absolute sure. Oh, he's rattled. Could be anger. This, I will not compromise on. The paper clips, okay, petty, but an error is an error. I'm an adult, so I can accept that. Assuming I'm using big words correctly, I'm gonna say what I mean, and if you don't know what I mean, you can ask for clarification and I'll be happy to clarify. Assuming it's not done artificially for a sense of I'm better than you in superiority, which it's not. He's just a smart guy.
You must eradicate from yourself childish folly.
You must not have childishness. Don't be a child. You stupid. You stupid, Miss Wang. Oof, we are compromising.
You must grow up.
Weird. It's crazy how much that changes the feeling of it, the character of it.
Grow up. Grow up.
Well, the veneer is starting to fade a little bit here. Maybe he uses these words as a mask. You know, maybe there's something to that. Oof. I thought about this living in Korea, because Korean, like Japanese, I think, has distinct formality levels. And when I talk to people about Korean and learning Korean, that sometimes comes up as an example of what makes Korean difficult, which is true. It's fairly difficult to learn. But I think there's this implicit assumption there, which I used to hold, that English does not have formality levels. And that is true in a sense. I mean, like Korean formality is very distinct and different from English. But I don't think it's correct to say that English has no formality in the language. It's just demonstrated through a different vehicle. I think it's something like we increase the complexity and effort we're making when speaking as a way of showing some mix of respect or deference or whatever. So I have this rough theory that a big part of what makes formality effective is effort, which maybe is something like sacrifice. I am expending resources and taxing myself and therefore maybe weakening myself in the process, which is proof of where I value you through action. Maybe it's kind of like how at one point money had a gold standard. The money actually needed to be backed by something, so that's the gold. Maybe politeness words themselves don't necessarily have any meaning on their own, but they can be backed by something which is like intense effort. So in English it's not grammatical, but you do more. And so maybe there's something about Milchik's speech in the way he talks to his coworkers that is him like effortfully keeping the demeanor, the professionalism. It's like an active placeholder and guard for what he's actually feeling and who he actually is. I mean, one of the things I think comes across so clearly about Milchik, especially in season 1, is that he's wearing a mask. Brilliantly, I think, by the actor. Maybe like removing that layer removes the mask and we get like the real milkshake. We saw an example of that last episode in the elevator with Mark. How striking, shocking that was.
Was it different with me?
Oh, right. Compared to you. It was worse. It was cold. No blankets.
Oh no, you're bleeding.
Oh, maybe you're bleeding, Mark. Mark, you might be bleeding. You got brain problems, dude. You shouldn't have done that.
You have 2 minutes left.
For your nosebleed? I'll tell my nose to stop bleeding.
Humidity on the severed floor is maintained at a consistent 45%. It must be something else.
My doctor said I wouldn't have so many nosebleeds if I kept my finger out of there.
What were you doing when the nosebleed occurred?
We were
Walking down the hallway, as always.
Any other symptoms?
Wow, she has really read the handbooks, huh?
Auras or hallucinations?
Don't admit to it, Mark.
Lumen.
Yes, we are. We know you are, Lumen.
Fuck, I was just...
Mark?
Oh, no. What's weird is that, like, it's not happening in real time.
Are you at Lumen or in your basement with me?
It's happening in real time for them. That's crazy.
Okay, I remember.
That makes it more challenging. Wait, but no. It could only go one way, though. It could only go forward in time. So he could say something from the past event in the later event, but he couldn't say something from the later event in the past event. Unless there's, like, some crazy time stuff happening. I mean, it's all in his brain. I could see there being a rough correlated overlap just because of overall thought continuity. But, it wouldn't be a direct relationship from future Mark to past Mark.
You'll feel gaps in time until it all comes back together.
Well, when the fuck is that gonna happen?
This is a crazy transition. It's really jarring.
We need to enhance, speed up the process.
No, dude. Come on. It's not safe.
There's a slight chance of hemorrhage.
What is slight? That looks terrible. That looks like there's spikes in it.
Get the fuck off me. I am not
Yes.
doing this.
Close,
Okay?
it's happening.
Get this shit
We
off.
need to-
She's not
Please.
interested in Mark's
Get it
well-being.
off.
She's trying to save her own life. Yeah, she needs this so badly. She can't be thinking about Mark's hemorrhaging. Was this show shot in upstate New York?
Hello.
Who the hell are you?
Nah, funny. Ha ha. Good one.
Fields is tending the hand.
What if Fields left? What if he just left?
We could feed him a pile of loose corn.
Speaking of all being adults. We're all adults.
What your idiot
It's all fine.
This Philistine is beyond me.
Nah, you know damn right.
Welcome back to our home.
This time voluntarily.
What's mine's yours. And you've brought wine.
What did he say? Hold on, did I hear that correctly? What's mine is yours. This is very adult of us. I was thinking for this to be realistic, they have to have an ulterior motive, thinking that it would be about Lumen, but maybe it's something a lot simpler.
The whole mind people are off the deep end is my point.
Two things can be true at once.
I was guided to Lumen's store by Jesus.
Oh. Jesus Christ?
That's the one.
No, the other Jesus. You know, Jesus Crest. It actually is interesting to hear religion being mentioned in the show because Lumen sort of is the religion so far. There's a lot to play with there.
Fields asked me point blank, do I think I'm going to heaven?
Yes, one asks at breakfast.
I pretend to think about it, but I know.
Oh, he's creating a new, clean version of himself.
The sermon that day
Purify
Severance, which was
yourself through severance. They've got to the church. Wow.
He said the church's stance is that innies are complete individuals with souls.
Wow. This is soul salvation. Backup plan. Plan B, soul. It's an interesting reason. I'll give him that. This feels like it's going to be pretty disappointing for Irving, who...
Wow.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
So the hope was for Bert's innie to go to heaven.
Also, Irving sweating a little bit because he was about to corrupt Eddie Irving in the way they mean. Ugh, I sort of feel like Irving was invited into a trap here. Irving bought expensive wine for his own trap.
You didn't tell me how to go. You went back to Lumen, right?
Oh,
It went great. So great.
That good?
Oh, he picked that up.
canceled it.
Oh, now we're lying. Oh, no.
Guess you got too
Oh, no.
busy.
Speaking of, like, the integrity stuff. See, this is like, this is actually just a separate issue entirely from the Severance. This is the relationship issue. This is like the least inconspicuous restaurant music. Oh! But, okay, wait. Audi Mark. Oh, yeah, because of the memories, the cross memories. But he can't reveal he knows. She knows. Quite well. She looks awfully smug about it. How do you play this? Who are you, lady? You don't know anything. You don't know anything. Don't call her by her real name like you did with Mrs. Selvig, Miss Cobell.
I'm Helena Egan. I work at Lumen.
Yeah, no, I know who you are.
Why? Okay, I guess there's an alibi or cover. If she's a big figure, he can know. And I don't think Outing Mark unlocked the full memory. She's enjoying this a lot.
You had enough to eat?
Gonna judge my eating habits now?
Hope they're feeding you at work. May I?
Me what?
Please.
Oh, you want to sit here?
Really great to run into you. I've heard nothing but good things about your work, by the way.
Thank you. I've heard nothing at all about my work, so.
Severance humor. So clever.
So easy.
Very meta.
Look, I'm sorry for the systemic error from the other night.
The one-off random crazy event?
We take pride as a company to be better than that, and...
What do you want? What do you really want?
You're the one who invented a revolutionary medical procedure.
Hey, now, that was not me. That was my father.
Uh-huh.
Probably just some people he paid.
You should meet him sometime.
Oh, okay. I mean, yes, sure. Just out of curiosity.
He'd be the first.
So, no pressure.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
There's multiple readings of the meaning of the first. For a sacrifice.
I mean, I can't imagine how confusing that must have been. Traumatic, even.
It's opened
And I know
some
you've already
interesting
been
doors
through
for me.
So much with losing your wife and all.
See, that's the thing about that.
Hannah.
What? Is that just a mistake? Who's Hannah?
Are you all right?
No.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Helena.
Oh, we've met.
Good night.
Good night.
Mm-hmm. She's a very interesting character. Looks like she's got it pretty bad, but she likes to play with people. We got a double dragon. Severance dragons. F you. Yeah, that interaction felt like it was a lot of things simultaneously. They were targeting specific people. Looks like a lead sheet.
We used to call each other Hun. Then about 10 years ago, that became Attila.
Because
Attila the Hun.
history.
I know the name Attila the Hun.
It wasn't 10 years ago, it was 20. No. Yes.
No.
Yes, because I
Speaking of ancient
remember
history.
We're having drinks with your Lumon partner.
So you've done this
The
before?
first severed office opened 12 years ago.
Yes, it did.
What the hell's going on? What are you telling me right now, Bert? What's the significance of him having a Lumen partner 20 years ago when the first office was 12 years ago? He didn't say severed partner. He said Lumen partner.
Do you think you two ever made love at work?
Fields, Jesus.
Can we not just be pragmatic adults?
We're all adults. I knew that was coming at some point.
Are you done humiliating our guest?
What did you think was going to happen at this event?
I believe that innies deserve to experience love.
Okay.
And I hope it was beautiful.
It was something. It was, it was like a crush.
Sorry for being a dick. Let's do it. Tonight.
No, Mark, no. Okay. Just gotta try to hide her joy at her salvation. Time to dial up this shady medical procedure up to 11. Do not like. Oh my god, there's like an actual huge hole. Don't they gotta like do something about that? They just leave it there? Leave just a hole in his skull? Do my best, but this is only my second time. Well, I guess she put them in, right? So you hope there's something similar about taking them out. But this just looks just not great and also really bad and disgusting. Oh yeah, get that juice in your brain. Oh, hi, Mark. It's me, Mark. That's going to be such a trip to having those two halves sort of reintegrate. I imagine you would see yourself from such an interesting perspective. It's scary, but there's also something potentially really great about this. I mean, I think one of the best tools of growth is things that are objective, things that serve as mirrors, because you can't really evaluate your process that accurately. Using the process that you evaluate is kind of a loop. You need objective things. You need experiences, other people. I'm a really big fan of writing down or recording thoughts and then reviewing your own thoughts as sort of a third party at a later time. This is kind of that, right? Because each half of himself has expectations of himself, and that will meet the reality of himself or himself. And so that might have a way of bringing things into very sharp focus about where he's failing, what he actually wants for himself, how he should drink less, things he's been avoiding, things he's been hiding from, who he really is and what he really wants. The needle is longer than his whole head. Yeah, just tape it up. Let's put some tape on it. Hope this goes well. Now we'll see. There are a lot of ReZero-like things about the show, actually. You get a little trial, different self trial with memories coming back.
What the fuck?
Don't move like that. You have to keep your head still.
You should have told me that earlier, or like taped it down or something. You're terrible. It's his sister, yeah, she's probably worried about him.
My car's in the driveway. She knows I'm here.
You can tell her, man.
The floodlight thing was a bust, right? Because I have had an idea that is a little dumber.
Okay, Devin.
Do you remember the rich lady from baby camp, the one I like kind of had a crush on?
Was that what it was?
Okay, what are you trying?
Needles in my brain.
Don't worry about it.
What
You
the fuck
look
does that
terrible,
mean?
Mark.
I'm doing it myself.
Fuck that. Why are you trying to cut me out of this?
You need someone else, like another influence here.
I didn't
That's not
ask
the
for your
doctor.
help.
No, no.
You, officially.
This is...
What is that smell?
It's the office. I think you should go lie down, man. Oh, that's the worst thing that could have happened! What a disaster.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay.
How do you know it's okay? You don't know what's going on. It's not okay.
It's fuzzy. Like saying I worked at Lumen 20 years ago, which is, of course, before Severance even existed.
Of course.
Feels like he was trying to patch up a lie there, a loose end.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like you have a super mega crush and you've already written the whole fantasy of your lives together and your children and you're just so excited and so happy and you're putting so much energy and resources into this and you just wonder and hope if you could have a chance to be with this person because you're just so into them and they're just so great and attractive, whatever. And then much to your delight, you actually have dates and things start to seem like they're going well. And then the person does something terrible and you're like, oh, that's not in the fanfic. What does that mean? And then you sort of have to like re-question everything that you were hoping for. But because now you have so much riding on this emotionally and there's already momentum momentum, you might kind of overlook it. Hope, oh, that's just a fluke. That's just a weird thing that happened. But actually, no, you were just wrong. The memory I'm thinking of is a long time ago, I dated a girl I was really into. But because most of our time together was spent drinking, and also because there was a language barrier, I realized later I didn't really know her that well. And at some point we had a minor disagreement and broke up, and I felt really bad about it. So a good friend of mine who was dating her friend facilitated a little bit of a reunion, and me and her had this sort of getting back together reconciliation dinner at her house, which is the first time I had gone there. And I was really grateful to my friend. I was happy for the second chance. I felt elated. And she had a small dog who was really sweet. And like, I like dogs, so I was playing with the dog. And at a certain point in dinner, again, drinking involved, she got really jealous that the dog was giving me attention, flew into a rage, and physically abused the dog. At which point, it was crazy how all of the things I had been projecting on it, all the goodness and fantasies I had been building, were just ripped away in an instant. And there was nothing left. There was nothing left of interest or desire. It was dead from that moment.
Yeah, so we should do it again sometime.
You want to come back?
You mean Fields or you me?
Oh, what?
You
no,
me.
no, I meant with Fields.
No, he means you two alone, but he feels he has to say the three.
You know, it's...
Read between the lines. Either way. Anything's fine with me. Whatever you want. Up to you. What do you want, Bert G? Audi Bert G does not seem like the nicest, most up and up person. Maybe destined for hell. Wow, I feel like this episode covered a lot of ground. We had the bizarre situation with Innie, Helly, and Mark. Mark is on Severance and also head trauma, which is not great. Meeting Audi Helly in the restaurant, who taunted / shit on him / was investigating him. Innie Dylan stealing his own wife. The reveal of Audi, Bert G, and Fields, which I got a very dark feeling from that whole dinner. But it's okay because we're adults. And Milchick just slipping away. The mask just falling off. I want to see Milchick let loose because he's such a cool dude. I'll bet like fully unleashed Milchick is a force.